Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I'm George Phillips with oilpressure.com. My good friend and cohort, John McClellan, and back by popular demand, our second year in a row, our special guest, Paul Dalby of used to be More Front Wing. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, it's great to see you too, Paul.
Good to see you as well, John.
And John's wearing his Target Memorial shirt along with the Target car because, as we all know, Target pulled out.
Mm-hmm. I'm always going to feel like this is a remembrance shirt.
Okay, well, I don't want to say Target pulled out, but they have ended their 27 years of sponsorship with Chip Ganassi Racing.
You know, George, Paul, if you were a team owner and a sponsor came up to you and said, we're going to be your big primary sponsor for the next 25 years, you'd like that.
Take it and run.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And that's what Target has done. They've been a huge part, even in some very lean years, for Ganassi and IndyCar. And
it is a typical story of corporate America. CEO strikes the deal, has a good relationship with a car owner, upheaval, new CEO comes in, he's not as passionate about it, end of program.
Right.
Just unfortunately with this case, it was a very visible, well-known sponsor, and we took them for granted basically because it ended after so long.
You've had big sponsors though, not only in IndyCar but NASCAR.
Right.
They've gone. Sponsors come and go, and it doesn't matter whether it's a sponsor on a car, whether it's the series sponsor. I mean, how many sponsors have we gone through since I've been? PPG was big for a number of years. FedEx. I mean, they were there for a couple of years.
We had peak antifreeze.
Danica.
Yeah. You know, you've had Marlboro is the one that I always look back on. People want to say that Ganassi's really in trouble, and will they be able to come back from losing Target? Look what Penske's done. They had Marlboro from 1990 up until. You know, they lost the name, I guess, in 2005, but everyone knew who was still sponsoring through 2009.
But then they had to take the chevron off the car.
Right, and that's, you know, you lost Marlboro, Team Penske at that point. But they've survived, they've thrived, they've given, and I don't think that Ganassi's going to have a problem going forward.
I don't either, and I've heard rumors that one of the current names that you see on the car may step up. There might be sort of a rotation like Penske does now, or that. What I would love to see, and I haven't heard rumors, I would love to see it happen, Coca-Cola.
That'd be great.
I'd love, because the last at least 2 years, cicadas are back. For the last 2 years at Barber, Dixon ran the Coca-Cola car, which looked very similar to the Target car. But that'd be a great visible sponsor.
Remember the Energizer one?
Yeah,
the Energizer one's a great one.
The black one,
the black one, yeah. But can we all agree, though, the one we really prefer not to see, unless it absolutely had to, is the
Clorox?
No, Clorox is all right. It's better, worse than the Dove lotion for men.
That was, that's one, and
the Carmelo.
That wasn't
I know. It wasn't Ganassi, but it was still a sponsored car.
Behave.
Somebody posted about that this week. I just saw Facebook or Twitter about
that was
the
a
Carmelo.
wasn't it?
Well, now.
Yes. Who was the PJ Chesson and who was?
It was PJ Chesson, I think.
So Jeff Bucknam when they. What was it? They took each other out in the first corner.
Yeah.
They said the national anthem lasted longer than their races.
Yeah.
Hey, I do want to make a point though about some of these sponsors. They did have an ability to, like when Kleenex would be the car that weekend. Kleenex could do rifle marketing with it and bring in a bunch of people, just distributors that they were working with, to be a part of that weekend, and it worked real well with Kleenex, or even some of the other sponsors on there. They could bring in people that were very important to them, and they could have a special hospitality suite just for them.
Okay, you're rambling.
Well, I'm just saying that there's a lot of different ways to use these cars, and this was Target shotgun marketing.
Yeah, they did a very creative approach through the years with this. The one thing that I noticed 10 years ago, though, is remember in the late 90s they had the great Target commercials with Jimmy Vassar, Alex Zanardi, then Juan Montoya, and then those went away.
Like most of the rest of the IndyCar commercials.
Exactly. But we're gonna miss Target.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna miss it.
And they have been a good partner for IndyCar, and you know,
A great place to shop.
just
too.
some people are mad at them, but I say thanks for 27 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can't stop myself. Target's a good store.
Yeah. So we'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Target.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Target.
Mid-Ohio.
Mid-Ohio.
Yeah.
It was a good race for Mid-Ohio. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it is what it is because I hate that phrase, but
It wasn't a barn burner.
no. But you don't go into watching Mid-Ohio expecting Texas
No.
or anything like that. But it was more exciting than some races I've seen in Mid-Ohio.
Yeah. Yeah. Not a whole lot of passing.
Right. I was glad that Ray Hall's team came in and they put in a solid weekend.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest shock coming out of Mid-Ohio was that Scott Dixon was never a factor.
Nowhere to be found.
I mean, he was a factor in practicing in I guess the first round of qualifying, but after that he was just
Lights out.
Pretty bold move though that he tried to put on Elio.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
yeah.
really
it didn't work. Yeah.
that was to me that looked like a move of desperation.
Yeah,
He knew he needed, that was his chance to get by Elio.
Yeah.
And he knew that he had to get by. He had to move up to make his championship hopes.
yeah, because his season,
Otherwise, it's
his
dwindling
season
quickly.
was hanging in the brink, and I think he's done.
I think so. I think so.
There are drivers, including Dixon, that are still mathematically alive, but for all intents and purposes, it's a two-horse race. And
Didn't you pick for that race, if I recall correctly, Newgarden?
no, I picked Will Power.
Will Power, that's right.
And he, came in second?
Came in second. Good call.
So,
Bad place to come in though if the guy you're chasing comes in first.
That's right. No, good call, Paul.
That's correct. But
Not good.
But then again, Pagano won the race. He came away with 51 of 53 possible points for the weekend, yet he only put 11 points distance between he and Will Power.
Well, that's fine though. If you're Simon Pagano, you're increasing your lead and you're
Right.
down to only 4 races left to go. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter how much,
Yeah.
because you gain points by not gaining. You advance by if you just hold serve.
Right.
But I still maintain, I know you disagree, and I'm not sure what you think, but I still maintain Will Power's going to win this championship.
I think it's Simon Pagano.
I think when we sat at this table
I knew this
year
was
ago,
coming. I knew it was coming.
That I was the only one to pick Dixon.
Scott Dixon, yes, you did.
And he did win. And
Well, technically he tied.
he won.
He tied in points.
Well, that's like saying that Dario Franchitti won the '99 championship.
Yeah, he still tied.
No.
You have to go into
If you go to the record books, who's listed as the '99 champion? Montoya.
Okay, so
okay.
you're going to stay with Will Power, and I think that's fantastic. That's great. Good call.
I think it's remarkable that he's only 58 points out after not even starting a race, the first race of the season.
Yeah.
He's been in a hole from day one, and he's within striking distance. And
It's a lot of points.
look out for Power at Sonoma, double points race.
Okay.
No, I'm sticking with Pagano. I think Pagano's strong.
The team is on fire.
Team's on. Now here's my caveat with that though is he has to get through Pocono, which he's shown that he hasn't shown to me that he can win on an oval, but he's at least competent. So I don't think he's going to go into Sonoma and just lay an egg. All he needs there is probably a top 10 finish, and I think you drive with Penske on an oval, you've got pretty much a top 10 finish. Then he has to survive Texas.
Right. That's the
He
one.
has to
that's
survive
the question for me.
Texas,
Right.
and I don't remember where he is now in the stand. I know James Hinchcliffe is still leading, but
and Hinch, I'd love to see him.
I don't know. I don't know where Pagano is, but he has to get through Pocono and survive Texas. You mentioned Power at Sonoma. I mean, I don't put Pagano more than 3 or 4 positions behind him. I mean, what's the deficit now to leave? Is it a 50-something
58 points.
58 points. That's a lot of points still to make up when you are going against Pagano on 2 road courses.
Right.
At Watkins Glen and at Sonoma, which are very classic road courses, where Simon Pagano is going to excel.
Has Pagano ever raced at Watkins Glen?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters one bit.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. Everyone says that Pagano eventually the good luck is going to catch up with him, and he's going to have a bad race here and there. Well, Pagano's had bad races.
Yeah, he's had
Indianapolis,
bad races, right?
he didn't.
He finished 19th.
He had the engine problem at Indianapolis. He had the bobble at Detroit.
Where he finished, what, 13th?
Something like that. And there was another race where his engine...
Road America,
thank you. Yep, and he went sour there. The problem is he's had these bad races, but nobody has put together a solid enough effort at mounting a challenge.
He has not made a mistake yet, and he's due.
Oh, I hate that.
I don't buy
stuff.
that.
Yeah.
Nope, I don't buy that.
Okay,
by the way,
he's too smart of a racer.
Speaking of getting back to, well, as he raced Watkins Glen, well, Rossi never raced Indianapolis before.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, out the way, yeah.
That was a fluke.
I'll buy that.
Okay, good.
It's a fluke. It's a fluke,
now,
but it still counts.
Now, I will say this, in all fairness, you're talking about you don't know where Pagano is in the standings at Texas. I think I do know where Power is in the standings at Texas, dead last of the running cars.
That's not...
That may be true, but remember, these are not typical red flag conditions at Texas.
Correct. I mean, they can come back with a whole new package.
Right. Which brings up now the argument. We may as well touch on this.
Yeah,
Let me heard your opinion.
Yeah, come on.
Because now that cars can be played with, touched, and completely changed for Texas, should Joseph Newgarden and Connor Daly be allowed back in the race?
I thought they should have when I heard that. I do.
It's a slippery slope.
That you can, AJ Foyt that 1 year at Indianapolis, not,
What, in 67?
Yeah, no, not in 67. It was the year they...
Oh, in 75, when Rutherford, no, I mean 70...
When
76.
Kogan crashed into him.
He did too.
Yeah, he was able to, fix his axle or, steering column.
I don't know.
I don't think they should be able to race.
I don't think so either. I like Joseph Newgarden. I'd love to see him have a chance, especially on an oval where Carpenter Racing is strong. I think he could come back strong. As a fan, I'd like to see them restart the race from the beginning. But
a rule
is a rule. You got to play by the rules for now. If they want to go back and look at this rule after the year and say, if the rain delay causes the event to go
2 months
in advance or whatever the case is, come up with it, then we can look at that. But you can't change the rules mid-race.
I agree.
And it really is too bad for Joseph, because
it's too bad.
It's really going to hurt him when he had somewhat of a legitimate shot of trying to go for the title. A couple of races ago he was second.
Winding up in the top 5.
Yeah, but I just don't think that allowing him back into the race when he had a major crash.
I completely agree.
Well, it is too bad. I would like to see it, but you got to play by the rules.
Yeah,
you can't change the rules mid-race just to
otherwise you're NASCAR.
I don't even think NASCAR would pull that. But, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think.
You know what though, Paul? Speaking of Joseph Newgarden, this year is not that last year wasn't, but this year is a showcase, and it's going to win a new car at either Ganassi or Penske.
I disagree.
You think he's going to stay?
I think he's going to be at Ed Carpenter for one more year, and then he's going to take the place of either Elio or he's going to Penske. Book it.
Okay, so what about Montoya?
That's what I meant. Elio or Montoya. I think Montoya is going to be the first one to go.
I think Montoya will be gone this year.
Well, I do too, but everybody else says no. But
I think Montoya's got one more year.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's got one more year. But I agree with the article, George, you wrote a few weeks ago. It is a different Montoya these days. It is a very ambivalent's not the word I'm looking for.
He's checked out.
He's checked out. I'm at a loss for the word right now, but he just apathetic. Maybe that's it. He just doesn't, like you had mentioned in Indianapolis, when you crash, like, it happens.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to have the drive.
Yeah, the Montoya that won championships would have been furious with himself, or he would have been blaming somebody, but it was like, whatever.
Yeah, when a car blows up, when and he's had, how many crashes has he had? He had the crash in Indianapolis. It seemed like he had another one.
He had one at Toronto.
I think that's the one I was thinking.
Yeah.
It just, again,
I
crashed.
And it was kind of an inexplicable crash.
Don't you think that's dangerous? Coming in there and not, well, I'll just phone it in today.
No.
I would not like to be...
I wouldn't say that Juan Montoya is a threat to other drivers out there.
I agree, but still, let's face it, coming out of a wreck like, well, it happens.
I just think that, I don't think he's a danger, but I do think that he's at a point in his life, and all drivers reach this at some point, you got kids, you got money. Is it really worth it to put your life on the line like that?
Well, speaking of that, I just saw an article the other day going around that says he made $15 million last year, and what's his value is worth 36. Terrible article. Did you guys see the article?
I didn't see it, but I'm buying it. Tell me about it.
I'll definitely. It said the lowest paid driver is somewhere in the 1.5. No, I take that back because they had Pippa listed in there, and her annual was something like $700,000.
Well, that's just
the USF 2000s are pulling in $2 and $3 million.
Wow.
What is this, Grimm's Fairy Tales? No, I have not seen that article.
All right, bottom line, I think Montoya will be back next year.
Okay.
I think Newgarden has one more year left at ECR, and then I think I agree with you, George. I think he's more Penske than Ganassi.
Yeah. He has Penske written all over him. He will eventually be driving that number 2 car.
But I think we've got 3 guys though between Montoya, Elio, and TK. I think they've all got one more year, and then I think they hang it up. Elio may hang it. TK and Elio may hang around to do one-offs for the 500.
Or something.
No.
I could see Penske and or Ganassi going down to 3 cars and entering either of those in a 4th car for the 500.
Personally, I think Tony Kanaan will definitely be back next year, possibly 2018. I don't see him there beyond that. I think Elio, as long as he's competitive, I think he can stay at Penske.
Does a new car change that? Does a new body kit in 18 to reshuffle the deck, does that change any of their status for wanting to stay or go to try out the new car?
I think it all depends on the new car.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. With that being said, I do want to say that Ed Carpenter's a hell of an owner, and
we don't use profanity on this show.
Okay.
It's a family show.
He's a great owner, and even if when the time comes where he's got to replace Newgarden, it's still going to be a top team and a threat at every Indianapolis 500.
Depends on who that new driver is.
Yeah, and I think as much as he wants to, he's still not going to be able to hire top talent and steal them away from Penske and Ganassi and even Andretti. He's not going to be able to do that. He will always be paying second-tier talent.
All right, well, who then goes to Ed Carpenter Racing? Is Spencer Pigot the long-term solution for ECR?
No.
I don't believe so either.
Connor Daly?
Sticks with the American theme.
Connor had he put a good race together last weekend.
Yeah, finished 6th. Of course,
he led.
Say what you want to about Dale Coyne. He is a good strategist.
That's right.
Connor was 1 yellow away from winning that race again.
Just like at the Grand Prix at Indianapolis.
Oh gosh! Speaking of, that race did with Alotion. Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, and once again, that's what second-hand talent, not second-tier talent gets you.
Wait, who?
Alotion was Sam Schmidt's team.
Are you talking about the driver or the team?
The team.
Okay,
that pit stop.
Yeah, can't blame Alotion.
Yeah,
no.
Alotion was on.
I'm talking about the team members. Real quickly, because we need to wrap up.
Okay.
Yep.
I know. I'm having fun. I'm just getting into it.
We're in the group now, George.
What are your thoughts on it? Hasn't been officially announced, but it looks like Gateway's coming on board for next year.
Very exciting. Anytime you're adding an oval at this point, what do we have? 5 ovals this year, I think.
Yeah.
It gets us back up to 6 if Pocono stays.
Which is
I think it will. I think Pocono will stay.
Would we start seeing one more oval after Gateway? The possibility of having that the Andretti Cup and the AJ Foyt Cup.
No, I didn't. That was stupid. I didn't like that.
No,
didn't.
I think it dilutes the whole point of the series and the diversity.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all. And I thought they were stupid-looking trophies. Naked guy on the unicycle.
So are they supposed to? Oh, that was awful.
Yeah.
So are they going to announce the new schedule then in the next few weeks? So they were talking about getting the 17 and 18 schedule out by mid-Ohio, and we heard nothing about it. Now we're here in the end of August, possibly.
I think they're going to...
Are they waiting for Pocono?
I think they are waiting to see how Pocono works out, which you and I are going to, by the way.
Can't wait for that.
John's not.
That's too bad, John. We're going to miss you.
Yeah, we'll talk about you,
We'll
though.
send pictures.
Okay, yeah, I can't wait. I'm going to tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to do the second best thing, and that is keep up with the daily activities throughout that race weekend by keeping my oil pressure website open so I can constantly see what's going on and get the real scoop.
Okay.
Follow us on Twitter.
And I'm
Oil Pressure Blog.
and
And
I'm
Field
going to follow Paul Dalby. Keep up with all that because he's got insight as well.
Anyway, as I was saying,
We're helping you out here, George.
I know, good plug for both people that are watching.
Well, you know what? Usually it's 3 people, but Dalby's right here.
That's right.
Anyway, I think they are going to wait to see how Pocono plays out. That decision may have already been made, but they're not going to cancel, say they're not coming back for this year's race. But I think Pocono at best is 50-50 for next year. I'd love to see it stay. I'd love to see 6 ovals at least. My ideal dream schedule is
including another large oval. That's why I think Pocono is important.
yeah.
I do too. And
We need another big oval.
Whose fault is it not getting people in there?
Well, you can't just say it's the track owner's or promoter's fault because Pocono, I've never been there, but from what I understand, it's in the middle of nowhere. That being said, it's also 2 hours from New York City and Philadelphia. So there's a lot of people living within a 2-hour drive there. There's got to be some race fans there.
Sure.
It should be a decent weekend, I think.
I would think.
I would think. So. You know, when I was there 2 years ago, it was on 4th of July weekend. It's just not, and we've shown time after time, whether it's at Pocono or it's at Watkins Glen. Where did they run last year on Labor Day weekend? Wherever it was, it didn't draw anything either.
Didn't draw anything.
You know,
Was it Miami,
the holiday
wasn't it?
weekend.
No, it's Sonoma.
Sonoma, that's right.
Holiday weekends, other than Memorial Day, don't draw. Don't draw.
I agree.
And so I think they'll have a better shot at. This will be a nice end of summer getaway for folks. I think this year will be better.
I hope they have a decent crowd. I hope the weather cooperates.
I do too, because it's an 11-hour drive, and I don't want to go there and sit in the rain.
If it was a 2-hour drive for me, I'd be there. I mean, there's no question about that.
Hopefully we don't have a fog delay.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
You see that last week?
Yes.
Wow.
But Gateway, I
Who
like
was that guy that won the race? I never heard of him.
Alexander Rossi.
No.
Not kidding.
Chris Busher?
Something like that.
You know him?
I've never heard of him.
No.
I don't follow NASCAR that closely. Anyway, Gateway's coming on board, hopefully. 4 hours from here, I'll definitely be going. Will you be going? You should go. It's only, what, about 2 hours from here?
It's about 2.5 from here.
Okay, if Paul's there, I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
It's on the landfill.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, I hope it's a good race. I hope the promoters get behind it. I hope the city gets behind it. And makes it a race that doesn't leave the calendar.
I think it. I mean, just the story at Gateway. I thought because it was on like as you mentioned, it was owned by Dover Motorsport.
Yeah.
It was on the chopping block too. It was sold and closed.
Yeah, just like Nashville.
And yeah,
which is another whole show.
Yeah. They brought it off of life support.
Anyway.
And it's great to see them
by renting it, leasing it from Dover.
Anyway, without looking at the clock, any idea how long we've been talking?
Oh, I guess about 18, 19 minutes.
25. So we need to wrap this up.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
Anyway, y'all got anything else?
I don't. Paul, it's great to see you.
Likewise, John.
Yesterday's lunch was fantastic.
That was a good lunch.
Yes.
Very good lunch. Thanks for showing me Arnold's downtown.
I'm sure George is going to show you a wonderful evening tonight.
We're going to the Rodizio.
Yeah, Rodizio Grill, eat Brazilian steakhouse, and you're not going.
I'm not going.
Because you're not invited.
No, I think I'm going to. Jack's home now, first weekend home from camp. We might just go see Star Trek.
Okay.
All right, real quick though, before we go, you're on board with Power for the championship.
Yep.
I got Pagano. You coming Pagano?
Yeah, Pagano. Yeah,
all right,
Pagano.
What are we doing for Pocono? Let's throw some Pocono winners out there.
Will Power.
Will Power?
I like Newgarden. I want Joseph Newgarden.
I am going out on a very thin limb here. I'm going to go a very thin limb. Won at Pocono last year, had a great test last week, and is ready to get back on the horse. I'm going with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Good
call.
Could do it.
Yep.
We'll see. They've
don't let me down, Ryan. Don't let me down.
They've been out to lunch at a few tracks this year.
Most tracks.
Yeah,
but he had a good test.
Except for Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So anyway,
hey, one more thing. What's going on with Marco? How come he is just it's horrible.
Did you get the sense John wants to get or George wants to get rid of us?
I know it. All right, well,
I wanted to move on with my day. Anyway.
Going swimming.
Hey,
here.
Paul, thanks, bud.
It's been a pleasure.
Me too.
For my regular cohort, John McClellan, and our special guest, Paul Dalby, I'm George Phillips with oilpressure.com. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.